Welcome to the highlights of 4 of the best matches from the first week of the 1992 Cricket World Cup. The 5th World Cup brings together the 9 Premier Cricket nations, and for the first time South Africa joined the rest of the world in a competition which has given cricket followers everywhere so many magical moments over the last 20 years. The first week produced some thrilling matches, and coming up we bring you the best, with highlights of the opening match, hot favourites and defending champions Australia against co-host New Zealand in Auckland. We feature India, winners under Kapil Dev in 1983, and their opening match against England, who've been runners-up twice in this competition. England fresh from a highly successful tour of New Zealand. We then welcome South Africa to the World Cup stage for the first time, and bring you all the best action from their opening match under floodlights against Australia in Sydney. And finally, the charismatic West Indies, twice winners in 1975 and 1979 and one-day specialists over the last 20 years. We feature their second match from the World Cup against England in Melbourne. Let's begin in Eden Park in Auckland. New Zealand against Australia, the very first match in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. Huge crowd here to watch the opening exchanges, and here's the toss.
Martin Crowe, you've won the toss, called tails. In fact, Allen caught heads and came down tails. So what are you going to do?
We're going to bat.
Okay, and who's been left out of the New Zealand side?
Mark Rowe, Pat Schmidt, and Danny Morrison.
The boys all G'd up for this game.
Looking forward to it.
It looks a very good wicket. Probably a good track to bat first, but hopefully we can restrict the New Zealanders to reasonable gettable total. And
what would be a good score on this track?
Oh, hard to tell. 100.
Okay, who's been left out of the Australian side?
Merv Hughes is out, Mark Taylor and Michael Whitney.
And that's confirmation of the New Zealand side, opening with the experienced John Wright and Rod Latham. Then comes Andrew Jones and the influential Martin Crowe. They'll be looking to make upwards of 250. For Australia, a very strong batting lineup. Geoff Marsh retains his place to open with David Boone, and the War Twins are at 6 and 7. Craig McDermott will be the main strike bowler, with Bruce Reid fit after a series of back injuries, taking the other new ball. Well, let's pick up the action now from Eden Park in Auckland. New Zealand have won the toss, they're batting, and Craig McDermott opens the bowling.
Oh, he's bowled him! He's bowled him 2 wides and he struck. That looked to me as if that ball hit the inside of the bat and then came back onto the stumps. But what a start for Australia. And how unlucky can you be? John Wright, all that experience. He's 37 years of age. Let's have another look.
Yes, the 2 wide, he exposed his leg stump. It must have hit the glove or the bat handle and come straight back onto the leg stump. McDermott can't believe his luck, and that's a great breakthrough. New Zealand 1 for 2.
Andrew Jones, he's played in 54 one-day internationals, plenty of experience.
Tremendous atmosphere, a lot of nerves about all the players.
In the air and down to the boundary square for 4. That one whipped away right off the meat of the bat. And the Kiwis in that area loving every second. A few of them bowing on the ground at the moment. There's the replay, right off the meat in the air, but wide of the fieldsman. Got him! No, he's dropped him! I can't believe it. Straightforward catch to Tom Moody, in and out. And that is also the end of the over. He'll be feeling like death warmed up. 1 wicket down, 12 runs on the board.
Rod Latham, lucky to be there. Tom Moody really dropped a sitter. First the ball was angled across, he just opened the face of the bat, it went straight to Moody. Really was a straightforward catch and he put it down. Disappointing moment for Moody.
Well bowled. Oh, he's given him out, my goodness. That came as a surprise to the batsman. Well, I thought that bounced too much. My immediate reaction was going over the top. This is the replay. It's probably straight enough. That's what we're hitting. We're going forward. What do you think, Bill?
Umpires would vote here in the World Cup with the finger up to the umpire. High hard booing from the crowd. It's a bad start. 4 overs completed.
Goes flying away towards square leg and well fielded. Did it go through him? No, it's not been well fielded. It's managed to sneak underneath the outstretched arm of Reid and into the fence.
Good shot. Really cracked it away, took full advantage of the shortness of the ball, and that's a fine shot for 4. That's a good shot. Just pushed it down the ground, and that's one of the short boundaries that Richie Benaud was referring to earlier, and the outfield is very fast indeed. And really just a push drive by Martin Crowe, beginning in 4.
Tom Moody has bowled 3.5 overs. The first change bowler here today. As Richard said, all 3 of the Australian bowlers well over 6 feet. It's in the air and it's been taken. Very well caught by Ian Healy. Rod Latham, opening batsman, is on his way. The 3rd wicket to fall. Short and wide delivery. Latham gave it the full flow of the bat. Only managed to get a toe end of it wide to Ian Healy, who, diving away to his right, takes the catch.
Well, a very good catch by Healy. Latham tried to do the right thing and take severe toll of that wide ball and get it away, but he's got the edge, and Healy taking that catch, a magnificent catch, a good breakthrough for Australia. Well bowled, Tom Moody.
New Zealand 3 for 53. Crowe, it's a slow one as the outfield is coming around. It's a valiant attempt by Dean Jones. The slowness of the pace of the wicket caused Martin Crowe to hit that much finer than he was aiming. He was aiming over mid-wicket. The ball in the end has gone to the boundary, but what a magnificent attempt by Dean Jones to get around and take the catch.
Yes, the right idea. Didn't quite go where he wanted it to go, but have a look at this now. Dean Jones, very, very quick, and boy, had he caught that, would have been a classic.
Let's pick the gap between the 2 outfielders on the leg side. Again, a very short boundary. It's a rugby union ground. It's an odd shape for a cricket ground. Martin Crowe this time deciding not to go square.
Good shot to cover. We'll get back to Clive Rice's thoughts on South Africa in the moment. The New Zealanders beginning to chirp up a little bit. They won a 6, it looks like. But that was a lovely cover drive.
Yes, that was a great shot. It was slightly over pitched, and Rutherford really got onto it nicely and crashed it through the covers. 4 runs.
In the air, down to square leg, 1 bounce into the fence for 4. Good shot. Can't afford to bowl short, and that brings up the 100 as well for the New Zealanders. In the air and into the gap for 4. They started to get some rhythm, and that's where they're hitting him. Taylor won't be happy. That wasn't a very good delivery. That's the view from the boxes up in the West Stand, looking down on the ground. Once again, a short delivery, and once again to the fence it goes. So that one goes smashing into the fence. And that brings up Crowe's 50.
Well, that's a very good shot. There are 2 men out there protecting the boundary. It wasn't a very good ball. It was woefully short, but it was very well put away indeed. So 3 for 149. 37 overs gone, 13 to go, and that represents a pretty good position for New Zealand, especially when you consider that they were 2 down for 13. Here's Bruce Reid. And he's got it down between 2 fielders, very accurately bisecting them. 4 more runs to Martin Crowe, and the Australians being punished for short bowling.
It may be that they're a little bit short of a gallop, as Border says they haven't had as much limit nerve as practices they would like coming into the World Cup. There are plenty of other matches to go, but certainly the bowling today has not paid much attention to the type of pitch on which they're operating.
Oh, what a glorious shot. Short ball pulled away, and now one pitched up, and he banged it through mid-off.
Just the sort of classic stroke you would have in a textbook or on a video showing you how to play the off drive.
So here's Mark Waugh, and trying to compensate for the short bowling over pitches, and is put away for another boundary, so runs really streaming here for New Zealand now. We've had 14 of the last 7 deliveries, and that's a half century for Ken Rutherford.
That could be safe. It'll be a good catch if they get it. Border made the ground, but couldn't get himself into possession. A very difficult chance, but that's 2 the Australians have put out today. First Tom Moody, and now the skipper Alan Border.
Apart from anything else, he had the umpire to consider as well, although I'm not sure if he got the figure of Kaiser Hyatt in the corner of his eye. But it was a very difficult chance indeed for Alan Border. And the look there on Mark Waugh's face, I think, tells it all.
Close, very close, he's out. Oh, great piece of fielding. Mark Waugh coming in. It was always going to be close. It must have been a photo finish. Rutherford, after a great innings, is found short by Waugh coming in. The underarm was one stump, and he made it.
Yes, here's the replay. Crowe just drops it down there, and Mark is right in there, directed on the stumps, and hardly in the picture. Yes, a great bit of fielding there. Australia really did need that run out. 57 runs and 71 balls. Great performance by Rutherford.
Good shot. Man there doesn't, there's 2 men there, he beats both of them. My word, he's placed that pull shot beautifully, Martin Crowe. There's a man at fine leg and backward square. He split the gap. Beautiful batting. It's going to be Tom Moody to bowl to Chris Harris. Oh, a chance of a run out, he's gone. It'll be Harris. Good thinking by Crowe, he kept coming. Once again, it's Border at a cover position, makes a great save. Another run out, this time Chris Harris.
Harris pushed it into the covers. Yeah, you see the replay. Pushed it into the covers. Crowe set off. He thought it had beaten Alan Border, but a magnificent save by Alan Border there. And Harris, quite rightly, gets out of his crease to make sure that Martin Crowe, the informed player, is there. 5 for 191.
This time he gets it square. There's a man there that beats him. 4 runs. He picked that slow ball and swung it fine. New Zealand doing well in the final overs, under pressure.
McDermott. Oh, magnificent catch by Healy. A little inside edge went flying away and down the leg side, and boy, that's the second great catch he's taken. It went flying really fast and low, and Healy had his glove there and went straight in the middle.
One one earlier, diving away to the right, this time diving away to his left. What a good take that is. Ian Smith would have recognised it as a wicket-keeper, just how good a catch that was, and he's on his way. New Zealand 6 for 215.
Oh, big appeal there. Is that out caught behind? He's not walking, and the ball is thrown down. And I tell you what, umpire Shepherd not very happy. Hands went to his hips there as Healy threw the ball to the ground, almost in disgust. And Border can't believe it either. They thought he got a big nick on that one.
Ian Healy not very happy with the decision. There's obviously a big noise there for somebody. Ian Healy thought it was straightforward. Craig McDermott thought it was straightforward.
And he's got it away. That's 100 for Cairns. That's 100 for Crowe. And they're onto the ground. Oh, no. The Kiwis can't help themselves. They're charging out onto the ground.
So a magnificent 100 there for Martin Crowe. 100 not out exactly, ably supported by that 57 from 26-year-old Ken Rutherford. 248 for 6, New Zealand's total. Very disappointing bowling from Australia. They'll be chasing 249 for victory. Well, let's pick up the action in the first over. Chris Cairns the bowler, David Boon the batsman.
It's a good shot. Outfield very fast indeed. And it's a long chase up there for Larson. Just pulls it back, but they've run 4. So it really didn't make all that much difference whether he caught it or not. Good shot by Boon. A little bit of cloud around, but the sun has shone for most of the day as Cairns starts a new over. Got it through, and the outfield is fast enough, it will go. So another boundary to David Boon.
Yes, Australia needed that one. David Boon out there with Marsh, getting tied down a bit by the off-spinner.
And that's the first bad one he's bowled. It's been put away. Boon very quick to get in the short one.
Yes, that's one of his favourite shots. And Patel, having bowled so well, gave him a boundary there, just to the left-hand side of the point fieldsman.
So Willie Watson now to start his second over.
Quite a big appeal there, but he was forward. And Shepherd very quickly says not out. Notice he was in front of the crease, and that was probably going down the leg side.
It's a great shot. It's the first bad ball he's bowled, and Boon was on it. He pounced on it and whacked it over cover. Tremendous timing. Marsh driving in the air, gone. Good catch. Let's break the shackles. Good bowling by Larson. Marsh going for the drive, went to play, he dived forward, took the catch. The first wicket's down. Listen to that crowd roar at Eden Park.
Yes, the New Zealand crowd here is really up, really excited about the fact that the pressure's been put on. And here he drives it. It's not quite there. And a brilliant catch in the cover.
Has picked up the run rate for Australia there. Dean Jones looking to put the pressure on the New Zealand fielders. It's a short boundary and he's in trouble. He's on his way. Dean Jones tried to take on the fielder there. Chris Cairns moving in from the square leg boundary. It's a fairly short boundary there. Dean Jones very fast between the wickets, but on this occasion not fast enough.
Yes, Dean Jones very quick between wickets, but here the short boundary and clipped away to backward square, and Cairns comes running in and like a baseball pitcher, he picks it up. Now he takes on Dean Jones, and it is a great throw right next to the stumps, and he's not there. 2 for 92.
There's the appeal. Umpire Issa Hayat not interested. I would have thought that the finger would have been up pretty quickly on what we saw earlier this morning had he been interested in the appeal.
Yes. David Boone goes on the sweep. He's just outside the line, and Deepak Patel is very keen for the umpire to raise that finger, but it's no luck.
Pick the gap. There's no fieldsman down in the deep fine enough to cut that off as Australia brings up their 100. Border just having a good look. He knows there's no need to take too many risks at this stage. David Boone is in charge. Alan Border does take some risks here. There's a fieldsman in the outfield. He's come around, taken the catch.
Chris Cairns once again struck to a great catch in the deep there. Alan Border went on the sweep against the spin, and as a result the ball went up in the air a little bit, enough to carry all the way through to Chris Cairns. Very good catch and a very important wicket at this vital time. There it is again, on the sweep, turns a little bit. Cairns running around the boundary. Great running catch. Well done, Chris Cairns. Australia 3 for 104.
More runs here for David Boone, likely to be 4. It is 4. And it's just the odd ball that Deepak Patel and the New Zealand bowlers just tends to get just a little bit wide and gives the Australian batsmen room to free their arms and play the shot. That's well played by Boone. That's 4 more.
There's another wicket there. Tom Moody is out, caught and bowled by Rod Latham. So Australia now lose their 4th wicket. All of a sudden there's a little bit of tension around the place again for the Australians. So from being a little more relaxed as the day went on, all of a sudden the dressing room will be a little bit nervous. So the new batsman will be Steve Waugh, who will join David Boone, and Australia now under pressure at 4 for 120.
The required run rate now 7.29. Larson is the bowler. And LBW, Mark Waugh. And even though he was pushing forward, he didn't seem to me to be going very far forward. We can check that on the replay, but there's 5 wickets down now, and New Zealand are doing it well.
Yes, he does tend to hit across the line just a fraction. Mark Waugh, Larson bowling stump to stump. He's pretty close, so he doesn't go very wide. Let's have a look at that one. Well, he was a fraction forward. By judging, it would have hit the stumps. Disappointing end for Mark Waugh and the 2 young lions, Moody and Waugh, missing out in this World Cup start here at Auckland, and all of a sudden the crowd going mad. It's 5 for 125. Goes for it, finds a gap. It's well placed, that's what's needed. Good intelligent hitting by Stephen Waugh. Stephen Waugh and Boone just holding up the 4 wickets, and that's important to have wickets in hand for the final 4 or 5 overs. Full toss, bad ball. That's 4 more. So Boone doing the job. Watson just losing his rhythm and his length. Boone pushes it away for 4 more.
Runs from 31 deliveries. It's in the air. It's in the gap also, straight into the side screen, and that is 6, and that's a very good finish to the over. 11 runs coming from it, 5 for 196 Australia. It's in the air, he's dived and he's taken the catch. Well, that was in the air for a long time. It was coming back slowly, but Gavin Larson had to throw himself to his right and forward, and Steve Waugh is on the way, and it's a crucial wicket for the New Zealanders, and Australia again are under pressure. So you can't afford to lose wickets at this stage. It slows the momentum. A very good piece of cricket.
The ball a bit short. Steve Waugh coming down the wicket, bounced a bit, bottom hand, and Gavin Larson, my word, he did well to take that catch. A very important wicket for New Zealand, tragedy for Australia, because Waugh has played very well indeed.
The game very much alive, 6 for 199.
So there's still a lot of cricket to be played, still over 10 runs and over required for Australia. New Zealand, of course, needing to restrict them to under that. We'll pick up the remaining few wickets.
There's the 200 up for Australia. Ian Healy's a good worker of the ball. There's another chance for a run out. It's a direct hit, and there it is. Another wicket for Australia, for New Zealand.
That's Boone. That is a big wicket. David Boone, who's just scored 100. Has been dismissed. A direct hit. Not sure he threw it. Probably Chris Harris, I would think. And now that really puts a lot of pressure on Australia. That's the wicket. Should in fact decide the outcome of this particular match. Well played by Healy. I think that's Chris Harris coming round there. It is indeed. He's a marvellous fielder. Direct hit. Boone well out of his ground.
They've got to run for everything, and that's another run out, and Australia are on the ropes. In the air, and that's gone. And so may well be Australia as Ken Rutherford takes the catch. The New Zealanders are delighted.
Peter Taylor looking to chip that over mid-wicket. He timed it well enough. He picked out the fieldsman, headed straight to him. And this crowd here, around about 25 to 30,000, going berserk at Eden Park. And rightly so. They were the underdogs. They made 248 for 6. Now they're defending that total brilliantly in the first round of the World Cup. An upset defeat almost certainly here for Australia. It's 9 for 206.
48 overs gone. 211 for 9 Australia. Reid has hit it in the air. That's the end of the game. That's it. New Zealand has won. A surprise victory here, and 30,000 New Zealand supporters, well, a fair percentage of them are going to make a dash to congratulate their team as they head off the ground.
So Australia failed by 37 runs. A really great start to this World Cup for New Zealand. Australia failed despite a superb 100 from David Boone, and Steve Waugh's 38 came far too late. For New Zealand, the pick of the bowlers, Gavin Larson with 3 for 30. A really great start for New Zealand, who had such a disappointing Test series against England. They'd beaten Australia in the opening match in this year's World Cup. Well, now to our second match, and it's our first visit to Australia and to the delightful WACA ground in Perth for England and India in their opening match in this year's World Cup. Well, England are fresh from a very successful Test series in New Zealand, and India were runners-up to Australia in the recent World Series, winning 3 of the 9 matches. The team news is that England still without Alan Lamb, who has a hamstring injury, but they do include Graham Hick and Neil Fairbrother, and Ian Botham will open with Graham Gooch. For India, they're led in this year's World Cup by Mohammad Azharuddin, and coming in at a very dangerous number 7 is Kapil Dev, who of course led the Indians to that World Cup triumph in England in 1983. Well, England won the toss, and not surprisingly, on a placid-looking pitch, elected to bat. We pick up the action right at the start. Kapil Dev's the bowler to Graham Gooch, and your commentator is Ian Chappell.
And Graham Gooch is on strike. So the first ball delivered in the World Cup in Australia.
Well, Shrewsbury in England. My father was born near there. He wasn't a Yorkshireman, he was born in Shrewsbury. Some good supporters for England.
Three there to Gooch. Not a convincing shot, but haven't got room in the scorecard to write down how you got them.
No, he'll be pleased with getting a bit of wood on the ball. Graham Gooch, that thick, heavy bat, comes down, thick edge, it whistles off fast square leg, and it races away.
Six to Gooch, 2 to Botham. Kapil Dev bowling the 7th over here at the WACA. This is the second match in the World Cup. And that's what Botham's here for, from England's point of view, to get things moving in the first 15 overs.
There's Kapil Dev. He's bowled 4 overs for 16 so far. That could be out. That is out. A beautiful outswinger from Kapil Dev, and Ian Botham's on his way.
I think that was due to a little bit of frustration. Ian Botham trying to give himself a bit of room to hit the ball. A little bit of bounce there again in the Perth wicket, trying to give himself room to hit it too close to him. And a nice easy catch there for Kieran Morey. And England lose their first wicket. It's a great shot there from Graham Gooch. Just a little too short on this very good Perth wicket. And Gooch is in behind it and has got rid of those shackles and hit a glorious shot just behind square. Pulled it away.
He's beaten that offside field. Very, very quick outfield here at the WACA ground.
It's the end of the over. It's 1 for 54.
Well, that's a cracking off drive. Saw plenty of those in New Zealand. We haven't seen many today, but it's probably the best shot so far in the England innings.
Robin Smith now starting to cut loose. A crucial stage now of England innings. That's beautifully struck through the offside. It's a time now England need to accelerate. And Robin Smith, with that sort of power, is just the man to lead the onslaught.
Well, another cracking boundary. Give Robin Smith room. We're in danger of getting clattered through the offside all day long. His massive hit is that. Short of a length ball that stood up, turned. Robin Smith waited for it and smashed it straight into the outfield.
Well, if Robin Smith misjudged the pace of the early delivery in the over, this one he has timed horribly. It's gone many a mile. It's cleared the man at deep mid-wicket.
Well, it's the power of the shot from Robin Smith there and those big boundaries. Great attempt by the fielder, but he's such a powerful lad. When he hits it, the ball keeps on going at one heck of a pace. He's waited for this. He's fallen down, but the ball's whistling away to the boundary. Great effort, but he can't stop it. Well, that's a very fine 50 by Robin Smith as he waves to his colleagues in the dressing room. Made some glorious shots as his innings has gone on. Well, that's what happens when you've got a runner. Everybody was looking at the throw to the stumps while Ian Botham was 20 yards away running for Graham Gooch.
That's Graham Gooch's 50. A very useful innings for England there. He battled through the early part of India's bowlers held command. He's taken it through now, and he's joined Robin Smith as a 50 maker against England's first World Cup game.
That could be out. It is out. Sachin Tendulkar at the cover area. Graham Gooch decided to just go inside out, I think, over cover. Wasn't quite to the pitch. And he's gone for a well-made 51.
Yes, and Gucci trying to get after the spinner, as he does very well indeed this time. I think it might have just turned a bit, and he got a thickish outside edge, and Tendulkar there taking a very good catch low down. It's an interesting stage now, Bruce. We've got one batsman who's well set in Robin Smith, and another one who is quite capable of demolishing an attack, and there's 19 overs left after this, and England with a very... Well, that's a very fine shot indeed to open your account there. A tremendous drive over mid-off. One bounce 4.
Ravi Shastri picked up Graham Gooch in the last over, and they've decided to get the seamer back on while Graham Hick is fresh at the crease.
Yes. Didn't bowl particularly well in his first spell, just a little bit on the short side.
That could be out. That is out. Caught behind.
Well, that's... When things aren't going for you, they just don't go for you, do you? We've seen a world-class shot from Graham Hick to open his account. And there we are. First delivery plays out and misses. And the second one, he nicks. When it's not going for you, it's not going for you. There he goes, just a feint outside edge, straight forward, and just what India needed.
It's been a good comeback by Banerjee. Gee, that's...
I mean, that's absolutely fearsome, isn't it? That's an absolutely... I mean, that's gone 100 metres again, and he's smashed it away for 6. And that is the longest part. I mean, that's an amazing shot. Absolutely amazing shot.
I was just saying, I've done him, haven't I, like a dinner here. I'm just saying, like, his first 3 overs cost him 25. Have a look at this. That is huge. It's 100 metres to the fence.
That's well hit. Base of the fence.
Well, English viewers will have seen Neil Fairbrother. Neil Harvey Fairbrother will have seen him in full flow in England over the years for Lancashire. His international opportunities have been limited. He had a very good score against the West Indies at Lord's earlier last year.
Chance here for Srikanth. And well taken. Good catch.
Never easy, those balls coming over your shoulder. Nice clear blue sky here today at the Wacker. And Neil Fairbrother, who'd just been starting there to open his shoulders, to take the attack to the Indian bowlers. A slight miscue, it's come off the leading edge. It's gone straight up in the air there. It's Srikanth who's had to go back 10 metres or so, keep a beady eye on the ball. Did well.
He's caught that one. Azharuddin, that is a brilliant catch. And unfortunately, Robin Smith is not going to be the 3rd century maker of the day. Beautifully caught off one that was hit right from the middle of the bat.
Well, we're talking only a couple of minutes back about Azharuddin fielding in that key position just behind square on the offside. He dropped a hard chance from Neil Fairbrother. This time Robin Smith has hit it straight at him. He's taken this one very, very cleanly, straight into the hands, very cool, very calm, very confident. And it brings Robin Smith's fabulous innings to an end. England 5 for 198.
Chris Lewis can hit it all around the park.
Well, he's hit that very high, and Banerjee's under it, and that's a fine catch. I think that was Kevin's slower ball, and Chris Lewis went for the big hit down the ground. Banerjee took a very fine catch there down long off, and the Indian supporters love it. Derek Pringle skied that, and that's a very, very simple catch there for Shrikant. And England lose another wicket in the 47th over. So that's another wicket, but I suppose we're in the 48th over now. But having just lost Derek Pringle, I think Alec was a guy that was in, and he won't be very happy with that, I don't think, because it's another wicket, and we're left with, here we go again, charge down the track. Oh my goodness, it's a very good bit of cricket there by Kapil Dev. He took his time. I'm not sure what Philip de Fraser was thinking about, but I mean, the ball just went straight down the wicket, straight back to Kapil Dev, and Philip wanted a run. I'm not sure what he was thinking about at all.
Well, I've been involved in some funny run-outs myself, but I've never tried to run one to the bowler. Oh, he's out by a yard now.
There he goes down the wicket. Well bowled by the bowler, and Philip Tufnell's coming back for second, and the cat gets in very easily, and that's 2 runs off the last ball, and England finish their total with 9 for 235.
And the big question is, would that be enough? 236 to win for India. Robin Smith's innings 91, 145 minutes included 2 6 and 8 4s. For India, Kapil Dev 3 for 38, the pick of the bowlers, but that did include 6 no balls. Well, we now pick up their reply with Shastri and Shrikant opening the batting. It's Derek Pringle bowling to Shrikant. We've had 6 overs.
So we've had 3 overs from Pringle and Lewis. And finally, Shrikant lets loose. And connects. He's let loose a couple of times, but hasn't really connected properly.
And that's the swat he's been looking for 6 overs.
Great strike there. A little bit of width. He does latch onto those very quickly. Shrikant just throws the bat at the ball. Doesn't mind where it goes as long as he gets the ball in the middle of the bat.
The breeze is up now. When India started bowling at the start of the game, the flags were completely dead over the main stand. Now there's a gentle breeze helping Dermot Reeve.
Well, he stumped that into the fence. Again, just a little bit of width. Plenty of swing there. But if you just get that outswing there, setting off a little bit too wide, and then it swings wider, he just thumps straight into it. Clears the field, and it's 20-30 yards wide of the mid-off or long-off running round. I don't know why they don't bowl straighter at Shrikant. Try and make him hit across the line to the onside. Well, he's picked that slower ball. I mentioned about the slower ball. He's picked that easily, waited for it, and clubbed it. And his right hand into that.
Might not have been the prettiest shot you'll ever see, but certainly very effective. And Chris Shrikant has found the gap absolutely perfectly there.
Krishnamacharya Shrikant. It's 4 more. Reminded me of Boyd's here back in 78-9.
It's a mouthful after tea, that, Bruce. Christ, we just call him Chris, and he's playing the way that I've seen him play a few times. Unfortunately, I've been on the end of it 1 or 2 occasions, and very, very frustrating man to bowl to.
That's 4 more, I would say, over square leg. That'll run for 4. It's a long way out there, but the outfield's fast.
I think the fieldsman was hoping he was going to go for 4, because it's a long way in from there. And especially since it was a captain who's got very dodgy legs, he had to chase about 100 metres out there, and I think he was hoping it was going to go.
Oh, that's up in the air. That should be out. Well caught, Bob. He loves it.
Well, that's Chris Sherkamp all over, that is. Plays two fabulous shots, and instead of just trying to knock one back down the pitch, he seems to get attuned to playing a shot at every ball. And this is the consequence. Philip de Freitas pitches it up a good length ball for a change. And that man that Australia love or love to hate, very safe pair of hands indeed. That's one thing he can do, and that's catch.
Dermot Reeve. And that is out. That is a brilliant catch. A magnificent diving catch by Alex Stewart. Sensational stuff.
And that's a really important wicket there for England. A great delivery to receive first ball. Just left him off the pitch, bounced, and Alex Stewart completed a very fine catch. Great line, just left him. And a fine catch there by Alex Stewart, just tumbling to his right.
Talking about going berserk, Tendulkar finally breaking the shackles there. He's been impatient the last few overs to try and pierce this well-set field. Phil Tufnell just dragging it down a little bit there, paying the penalty. India 2 for 119.
And well taken there by Alex Stewart. So once again, just that little bit of movement off the track has done the job for Ian Botham.
It's a very good wicket for England at this stage. Tendulkar looking very good, played very well again today. Had a good season already, but just defeated there by Ian Botham. Opened him up, the outside edge to Alex Stewart. Ian Botham's learned to jig from somewhere.
That's the view that young Camberley will have down the pitch. That's the stump vision. And he's out, he's caught. Graham Hick has taken a great catch. Botham struck again. Must have got that high on the bat.
Candy leads. He's disappointed because he's tried to go against the old pro on the up. You can't do that against the old stages on this deck. And Hick moves well to his right. Once, twice, 3 times. That'll do.
Well, there's desperation there. Philip de Freitas dropped. He's going to run him out. Yes, he has. Well, what a calamity for Shastri. Great fielding by Philip de Freitas after dropping the catch.
Well, there we go. That was total desperation, wasn't it, Jeffrey? He was trying to knock Daffy out the way. He got so far down the wicket, up it goes, just short of a length. Philip de Freitas goes to catch it. Should have perhaps caught it, missed it, but Ravi thinks there's a single there, and Daffy redeems himself by throwing the stumps down there, full length.
Oh, super shot, helping it round. Good attempt to field it, but it was a shot, it was a super shot. Pringle tried to tuck him up. He just paddled it round. It's up, it's up, it's up. There's a man under it, and it's out. That's the wicket England wanted. The great Kapil Dev caught by Philip de Freitas in the deep.
He's laughing there, Jeffrey, because I think it actually bobbled out a bit there, and he the one he dropped off Ravi Shastri off his own bowling, I think that just came out for a bit of air.
Tufnell at fine leg or short fine leg. Someone's going to be run out. And now the question is who's got to go. And Peter McConnell is pointing to Amre and saying he is the one who's got to go. That was a real mix-up. Smith. Good effort. Oh, and here's another mix-up. And Kieran Moray has been given out. He didn't even bother to look around at the umpire. He was safely home if he hadn't been the hesitation.
I think we'll see here a very, very fine piece of fielding from Robin Smith. He's a very good deep fielder. He picked up the flight of this ball, a good, well-struck shot over mid-off, down to deep long off there. Smith has come in very quickly. He's nearly made the catch. The one thing he hasn't done is hang around. He's got the ball straight in very, very quickly indeed.
Nor that one. May have been a little inside edge before it hit the stumps. But Dermot Reeve doing the job here in finishing out with Chris Lewis. Beautifully struck. Gooch won't get that.
This final Indian pair determined to run this close.
Going back at long on, back, and not far enough. It's into the stands, and that helps. Beautifully hit.
This is what one-day cricket, dare I say it, is all about. The pressure of the final balls, and Chris Lewis coming in again.
That's very well bowled. Oh, now and it's all over. Ian Botham doesn't take any chances, runs in, takes the bails off himself. That was a good piece of bowling by Chris Lewis. Banerjee, I think, deciding that he really needed to take the strike, didn't run, and he's been told where he went wrong now by Suhan. Mate, you should have run.
It was a close game. We thought we were 15, 20 runs short, and at one stage the Indians looked in a good position, but they lost a couple of wickets, and the game changed a bit. And then it became a bit tight at the end, and we're just grateful that we managed to pull through right at the death there.
So a great start for England. It may have been a narrow victory, but in this competition, it's winning that counts. And the Indians can have felt rather hard done by, because when Tendulkar was at the crease, they looked to have every chance. 3 for 38 for Dermot Reeve and 2 for 27 for man of the match Ian Botham. A winning start for England in the 1992 World Cup. Well, now to Sydney, and a historic sporting occasion. After 22 years of isolation, South Africa are finally making their debut in cricket's World Cup. And led by Kepler Wessels, the 34-year-old who played 24 tests for Australia in the early 80s.
We're happy with that? We're going to bat first. Okay. All right, good luck. Okay. Thanks, man.
For Australia, just the one change from the side that lost to New Zealand. Michael Whitney comes in for Mark Wall. For South Africa, Kepler Wessels, who of course made so many runs on this ground in the early 80s, he'll be opening the innings. And watch out for Peter Kirsten coming in at number 3. Well, let's pick up action right from the start of this match. First ball of the innings, it's Alan Donald bowling to Graham Marsh. Your commentator, Tony Gregg.
Kepler Wessels using 2 slips there as Donald moves in to bowl his first ball in this World Cup. Oh, and he's got him first ball. Yes, he's got to be out. Huge appeal. My goodness, that looked as if there was a deflection there. The South Africans cannot believe it. The umpire down at that end is umpire Brian Aldridge from New Zealand. Given that first one not out, well, what a beginning that would have been. Now let's have another look at that, Nick, from the other end.
See the ball there moving away, and there's the deflection, and straight through to the wicketkeeper. No doubt about that. That was an out, but unfortunately umpire Brian Aldridge, quite nervous, ruled not out in favour of the batsman.
Oh, and that's a magnificent delivery at the pitch, moved away off the seam towards the slip cordon there. Kepler Wessels in at first slip, missed the outside edge of Marsh's bat. Oh, what a start this is.
Well, put yourself in Jeff Marsh's position. He's struggled all season for form. He's been given a little bit of slice of luck here today off the first delivery, and this time he's beaten. All ends up by a beautiful outswing. It pitched and moved away. Marsh squared up, but no edge. This Kepler hands on hips will be really keyed up here today. Tremendous roar from the crowd when they come out onto the field. Got the great ovation.
Oh, beautiful shot through the covers, into the fence for 4. You can't afford to bowl half volleys. Certainly not to David Boon. He may have missed at 1 or 2, but boy, once he gets going. Oh, well bowled. Through him. Straight through him. Very good delivery, that one from Alan Donald. 17 off 18 balls to Boon, so he's certainly turning it on. Marsh has received 13 deliveries. Good shot. Straight down the ground. This outfield quick enough, I think, to take that one down to the boundary. Into the fence for 4. So Merrick Pringle suffering at the hands of David Boon.
Well, there's the flag showing you the strength of the breeze.
Need to be brilliant to stop shots like that. Five runs off that over. It's none for 42. Boon's coming. There's a chance if they hit. Umpire Bucknor in good position. And David Boon didn't even bother to look around. So South Africa have finally got the breakthrough. And it's probably the more important batsman. They've got David Boon.
Boon's been coming looking for the run. Marsh wasn't looking for it. He was looking for the ball a bit more, I think. And in the end, the throw, although it came just fractionally wide, good enough to run David Boon out. Australia 1 for 42 in the 10th over.
Australia 1 for 56. Cronje won't get that.
It's flashed away off the edge of Dean Jones' bat.
We have Adrian Caper coming on to replace Brian McMillan. Got him, he's got him, brilliant. Adrian Caper gets the ball to run away, gets the edge, and Richardson takes a fine catch.
Well, all the supporters who've come out on the special tours from South Africa will be delighted to see that second wicket go down. Jeff Marsh is the batsman. Once again, it's the away swing. It finds the outside edge. Caper, the number 5 bowler in the side, has broken through. And South Africa have done very well so far. 2 for 76 in 21. Boon has gone. Now Marsh has gone. Jones and Border, the not-out batsman. Jones on 13. Border just to face his first ball from Adrian Caper. And no need to worry about that. 3 down. Adrian Caper has got one to come back in the air. I sense it just flicked the inside edge. And onto the stumps. Alan Border for naught. What a wicket for Caper. And what a moment for him, because he's on a hat-trick in South Africa's return to the international scene.
What a sensational over this has been from Adrian Caper. The ball just swings in a little bit to Alan Border off the pad and knocks his off stump out. This has really changed the game around. Just what South Africa need right at the present moment.
3 for 76. 21 overs gone. Border bowled Caper naught. It wasn't an inside edge. It was just a flick onto the pad. Border was beaten by the swing. Ball came past the inside edge, flicked the pad, and then hit the off stump.
There's an edge to that one. Dean Jones has got to be on his way. He's waiting. Umpire Bucknor waited for him to turn around and have a look. Umpire Bucknor expected Dean Jones to walk away. He's now walking away. He's on his way. Caught behind for 24.
Well, there was no walk away Renee there from Dean Jones. Quite thick outside edge, comfortably taken there by the keeper Richardson. And then Jones went back to have a look at the umpire. Australia 4 for 97 after 28.
Australia in some trouble here at the SCG as Steve Waugh comes out to join Tom Moody. Australia on 4 for 97. Steve Waugh is there due to the loss of Dean Jones' wicket.
Moody will look for 2. And they may not get another one. Moody's gone a long way past. They will in the end, because the ball went right out to the 2 boundary runners at deep mid-wicket.
Merrick Pringle's throw here bounced alarmingly, to say the least, and Hansi Cronje has just come on to bowl at the Paddington end, let it through, not realising it was going to bounce over the backing up fielders behind him.
It's well bowled, close to the stumps, very well bowled. That's brilliant bowling from Alan Donald. He's been bowling about halfway out in the bowling crease. That one, he came in very, very close to the stumps, and that would have been a deciding factor for the umpire.
Well, there's a battle won here by 2 ex-colleagues, the English county of Warwickshire. Tom Moody trying to get away. You can see Alan Donald's delight there as the decision comes from umpire Aldridge in his favour, trapping Tom Moody just in front of off stump. But his consulate Moody will go back. Pavilion, Australia 5 for 108.
Oh, this could be out. Oh, he's missed the stumps. Dave Robinson, the wicketkeeper, picking it up. Had he hit the stumps, there was no doubt it was going to be out.
Oh, and he only just misses. Dave Richardson will be very disappointed with that. But I think what's also happened here as well is Healy has pulled a hamstring, and that's just what Australia need right at this present moment.
Now let's just watch Healy here. He's striding away, and you can see it's gone just there. And his hand goes straight down to the hammy, and I can tell you that's not a nice feeling. Well, it looks as if they're going to have to get a runner out there now. Got that one away in the air, and just wide of the fieldsman, 1 bounce into the fence. Hard to know exactly where to stand down there at square leg. But he went for it, he got it away in front of square, luckily. Good shot. Boys hit that one down to square leg, and straight into the fence it goes. Healy picking the gap beautifully. 12 runs from that over. So not a good one for Pringle nor for South Africa. 5 for 141. Boys hit that one high, and it's going to be out. There's no doubt about that one. Yes, it's gone. Unfortunately, Healy restricted a little bit by his injury. Hits that one straight up in the air, and Macmillan does the work. He got underneath it, so Healy out for 15, and Donald brought back to do just this. Have a look at the shot here, right off the toe of the bat, I'd say, and a pretty straightforward catch.
This is just what Australia don't really need. One of the batsmen who's in, getting out. 6 for 143.
In the air, gone. Caught extra cover. Straight to him, no question about that. They've not looked as if they were going to drop a catch. So that's brought a smile to Kepler Wessels' face. And the Aussies, in their efforts to try and lift the run rate, end up in situations like that. Waugh making the drive there, and that ball hit straight to Cronje. He takes the catch, and Macmillan has struck. 7 for 146.
Bit of tail, knocked over, beautiful delivery, took the leg stump. He's been very, very impressive. He's very fast, and he's done the job for his captain and his team. That's his third wicket. It's great to see the stumps blasted out of the ground to the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Plenty of pace there, as we saw Peter Taylor looking to cover the offside. I suppose his leg stump only fractionally, but that's enough. Left the middle and off stump standing with the bail on it. Another very important wicket. Australia now really struggling. 45 overs, 8 for 156.
Wicketkeeper the only catcher. Close to the wicket. He gets a nick, a nice educated edge by Whitney. It could go all the way. Yes, it does. Well, they're valuable runs. Michael Whitney getting a lot of bat on that delivery. It was just a fraction wide.
The delivery was a fraction wide, and so was the fielder at third man with a tail ender on strike. He's more likely to get the thick edges than the middle of the bat. I think I'd be trying to protect the finer boundary at third man with the tail enders in. Michael Whitney will probably claim that that was an intentional shot. He will be very happy with the result.
Well fielded, the throw beat the bowlers. It could be out. Got to be out. Yes, brilliant piece of fielding at cover point. Jonty Rhodes there. He's a brilliant fieldsman. He's got a great reputation. He didn't let his captain down when the pressure was on. And the ninth wicket falls, 161.
What a great pair of hands Jonty Rhodes has. Apart from his ability to move quickly, he's also got great hands, as we saw earlier in the day. He's pounced on that ball. He bounces back like the Indian rubber man. Snell not in great position. The throw found him. Snell found the stumps. McDermott now finding his way back to the pavilion. Australia 9 for 161.
Oh, no, dropped him. Got an edge. May have just carried, and Reed's off the mark. David Richardson's been very clean and sharp behind the stumps here today, and he dived wide.
Really appeared to be the most difficult of catches. It was on the way down, though.
So 170 for 9 and a disappointing total for Australia. Alan Border out first ball and no Australian batsman making 30. It was going to be hard to defend such a small total. For South Africa, 3 for 34 from Alan Donald and a fine piece of bowling from Richard Snell, 0 for 15 from 9 overs. Well, we now pick up at the reply for South Africa. It's a big match for Kepler Wessels. He's opening the innings as we pick up your commentary from Richie Beno.
Nice shot. Nicely timed by Kepler Wessels. Dean Jones, the fielder. That's a good shot. Short ball from Whitney, and Hudson made no mistake with he cracked it away beautifully square of the wicket on the offside.
Oops, oh, it's no trouble, he's gone. No, it misses. Well, it was on. Jones was the fieldsman. Hesitation between the two batsmen. He threw at the stumps, missed, and he survives. That was a real let-off.
Yeah, Andrew Hudson plays forward calls. Kepler's watching the ball. Now there's a complete misunderstanding. A direct hit on the stumps here would leave him absolutely stranded.
Wessels 10, Hudson 16 as Wessels breaks the shackles there and hooks that away for 4. So it's a great start for South Africa in the 12th over. No wicket for 39. Some great views here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's a beautiful Sydney.
Hence Aussie side at the moment. Oh, beautiful shot, magnificently placed, beautiful timing by Wessels into the fence at mid-wicket. David Boone is keeping wicket for the Australians because Ian Healy has pulled hamstring. That's Mark Waugh alongside him. He's on the ground because he's 12th man. So that's a big blow for the Aussies. Oh, and he's dropped him. Well, it carried, he got a glove to it, but it popped out. That's also the end of the over. It's still no wicket for 51.
David Boon, the acting wicketkeeper, a magnificent attempt, diving low to his left. He had the ball in his hand. In fact, that was the problem. He had the ball in the middle of his palm. Had he got it in the webbing of the glove, I think it would have stuck. Just the inexperience of how to use those gloves.
Oh, another beautiful cover drive. Racing away, and that will go to the boundary. Whack into the fence it goes. You won't see many better cover drives than this one. One of the great views in the world of cricket. The old Sydney Pavilion. And one of the great shots of the evening by Wessels. Smashing that one straight down the ground for 4. The confidence of these South Africans is growing as each over is bowled. So Border now going to ring the changes. He's going to bring Taylor into the attack. Taylor, the Australian off-spinner. Been very successful over the years. Oh, he's bowled him. That's the end. Taylor has struck. That's exactly what the Aussies needed. Peter Taylor, clean bowling Hudson. And the Aussies have come alive. They've gone a bit quiet for a while, but all of a sudden there's a bit of noise in the stadium.
Peter Taylor making the vital breakthrough again. Andrew Hudson just losing it a bit there. Didn't need to take that risk. Spun out of the footmarks. David Boon might have been in a bit of trouble if it missed the stumps, but it hit the top of off stump. South Africa lose their first wicket. Australia back on the way, 1 for 74.
Peter Kirsten is the new batsman, 36 years of age, one of the older members of this side.
See this ball pitch and hit one of the follow-through marks where Bruce Reid is bowling from. Peter Taylor's very happy with that.
That's not what the skipper will be looking for. Wide deliveries outside off stump. Not too many number 3s in the world that can't put those away.
Absolutely magnificent evening here in Sydney tonight.
It's a great shot. That really is Kepler's strength. Square of the wicket. It's 1 for 91 after 25 overs. So the skipper is coming on, realising that there's a bit of turn there. And in fact, Alan Border has bowled well at the Sydney Cricket Ground in one-day cricket, and bowled particularly well here in Test cricket. That's the 100 up. Beautiful shot. He's a very, very fine offside player, Kepler Wessels. Terrific placer of the ball.
Brings up Kepler Wessels 50. Boundary takes him to 53, and 1 for 122 as the many South African supporters in the crowd rise to hail their captain.
Put that one away. Bouncing down towards the boundary at square leg. Yes, into the fence it goes for 4. So Reid trying to drop one short at Wessels. Straight onto it there. Pulled it away beautifully. Kirsten on 46. Wessels 69. The South Africans coasting to victory here. They need to score 171 to win. And that's pulled away this time by Kirsten.
wickets. Bruce Reid to Kipler Vessels. He gets over a point. That's going to go all the way, is it? And there comes Whitney. He doesn't get there, so it's 4 more.
South Africa, after a very exciting start, a little bit wayward at the start of the Australian innings, they've pegged it back ever since about the 20th over of the Australian innings. South Africa regained control of the game, and they kept taking wickets. It's the one thing Australia haven't done during the South African innings. And it's this man, Kepler Wessels, the South African captain, who's held the innings together. And it'll be a tremendous moment for him to be there at the end when they win this game.
And there's 4 more. So that'll take the score to 170 for 1 in the 47th over. And what a great moment for Kepler Wessels. He's played a superb knock. He handled his bowlers well. And guys who probably drift away, guys like Snell, who come on and bowled a very tight spell when it was rugged early. You get a lot of wickets, but tightened the ship up for South Africa. It's been a good team effort.
Richard Snell there bowled his 9 overs for 15 runs. That was a key spell in the middle. Adrian Caper took 2 for 15.
And there it is. Victory by 9 wickets to South Africa in this World Cup match at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
A really sensational start that for South Africa. Victory in their first World Cup match, and Kepler Wessels making an undefeated 81. A real personal triumph for the former Australian Test cricketer, as South Africa won by 9 wickets. Those bowling figures really made torrid reading for the Australians, using 7 bowlers and only having 1 success. For Australia, a disastrous day. For South Africa, a truly memorable one. Well, now to Melbourne and the battle between England and the West Indies. Both sides already having won their opening match in the 1992 World Cup, and England having beaten the West Indies 3-0 in last year's One-Day Internationals.
We're bowled. Okay.
So Graham Gooch wins the toss and invites West Indies to bat. It's an unchanged England team from the side that beat India by 9 runs earlier in the competition. 4 seamers and just the 1 spinner in Phil Tufnell. For the West Indies, Brian Lara is fit despite his injured toe sustained against Pakistan. For them, just 3 seamers and 2 spinners in Carl Hooper and Roger Harper. Well, we now pick up play right at the start. Chris Lewis is bowling, Brian Lara as the batsman, and let's join Tony Greig.
Oh, and well, he's got hit on the toe. Never saw enough. Now he's been hit smack on the box. And boy, he's not having a nice time of it, is he?
Well, he's man of the match against Pakistan, but that was certainly a nasty one first up. Lewis is sharp. He's not Dennis Lewis. He's just a sharp bowl, and that one really did cut back off the seam. And it was a nasty one. He was looking to go away to the offside, and it darted back from outside the off stump and struck him square on. A nasty blow. A sickener, really, for Brian Lara. It's very important that Brian Lara stays composed here. He was the man of the match against Pakistan. He batted beautifully before he retired hurt. Timed the ball sweetly on both sides of the wicket, but that was a beautiful delivery because the length was perfect and it jagged back sharply. That's what did Brian Lara. He was looking for the ball to go to the offside. It jagged back. No bat there at all, just a clean miss.
That's it, out caught behind. Big appeal, given up. Lara didn't want to go. Not surprisingly, he's been hit on the toe in one match. Hitting the box first ball, and the next one, a big nick straight through to the keeper. And that was umpire Stephen Woodward making the decision in favour of England.
Sure, there was a bit of pad there as well. It was a dull thud of a noise. No, was he away from his pad? Big shout from Stewart here, had no doubt. Lewis runs down the pitch. A great start for England there on fire. And that's the end of Brian Lara. Man of the match, one match, a duck the next. West Indies in second over, 1 for none.
Richie Richardson out in the centre. What a World Cup this is turning out to be. Victory for South Africa last night. Now the Englishmen off to a great start here. Strike rate of 63.2. And he is a danger man, capable of almost anything with a bat. He's out there because Brian Lara had a really tough time of it. Just checking his guard. See that little bit of moisture there as he scraped away at the surface. Well, that's Richie Richardson on strike now. Stump vision view. This is Lewis. Whoops, and that one back a little bit too. Haynes calling for one, so the West Indies are off the mark.
He's played 195 one-day internationals. Reasonably good strike rate, 62.7, average of 43, 16 centuries.
That's all just short, I think. I think it was just short. He's holding it up, Botham, as if he thought he caught the ball. Now let's have a look at that again. I think there was some doubt in the umpire, Carl Liebenberg, not sure, so he said not out. Now Botham not very happy, wearing his glasses there. Might have been a bit difficult to see. Well, I think it was a good decision by Liebenberg. My reaction immediately was that it didn't quite carry. Let's have a look.
It's very hard for the umpires to tell. Wow, you couldn't really tell there.
Not hard to tell at all. Went straight into his hands. Out. Caught. I misread it from up here. I really did think it bounced, but have a look at this. There he goes. Down. Into his hands. No problem. Actually went into his right hand. Chris Lewis is going to continue. Bowling to Haynes. Oh, what a good shot. Magnificent cut shot that by Haynes. Short ball outside off stump. Desmond Haynes loves that shot. Richardson on strike now. In the air and wide of the cover fieldsman. De Freitas is going to change it. Forget about that. Into the fence she goes. 4 runs. 11 runs of that over from Chris Lewis. That's a better one for the West Indies. 1 for 16.
That's gone. Easy catch to first slip, and Ian Botham doesn't drop him that easily, and that's the second West Indies wicket to go. And Richie Richardson, their captain, makes his way back to the dressing room. Chris Lewis finding the edge.
It's almost sort of slow motion cricket there. Richie Richardson following that one, edging it to Ian Botham, who had to go low for it, but got it right in the middle of the mitts. And a good breakthrough there by Chris Lewis. West Indies 2 for 22. Carl Hooper is the number 4 for the West Indies. Very talented player. But I think yet still to fulfill his potential.
Derek Pringle. And lofted over the top by Carl Hooper. Deliberate shot. Won't go all the way. In fact, pitches into the turf and stops and gives Robin Smith time to get back to pick it up. So 3 runs to Hooper. Here's a very familiar and formidable figure of Ian Botham. That's a dismissal. High catch and taken with some difficulty in the end. Dermot Reeve, the fielder, and as Ian Chappell commented a short while ago, Carl Hooper gets out again in a very soft manner.
This is typical of his career. Attempting to, well, it almost looked like he was trying to pull that one over mid-on. Certainly it wasn't quite short enough for the shot. And a pretty easy catch there for Dermot Reeve. Easy wicket for Ian Botham. And already he's in the game with a catch and a wicket. West Indies 3 for 36.
New batsman is the left-handed Keith Arthurton, coming up to replace Carl Hooper. The batsman crossed while that ball was in the air. Batsman caught it silly bit off, and the batsman crossed. Tells something about the shot, I think. And there's a much better one that could go all the way. It does from Desmond Haynes. So the West Indies really relying now on their most experienced batsman and the highest scorer in one-day cricket to pull them out of this hole.
It's in the air. Alex Stewart has knocked it on to Ian Botham's leg. I don't think he's laughing. It's actually hit him just below the left knee. Alex Stewart dived away to his right just managed to get the end of the fingers to the ball and drove it straight into Ian Botham's leg.
Yeah, it's not going to be happy about that Ian Botham, either Philip de Freitas or Alex Stewart. The only happy man out there is Desmond Haynes.
And Keith Arthurton is off the mark in the most positive manner. One for 5, de Freitas. He's 4th over, so he's kept it very tight. Too short. Desmond Haynes likes those.
Certainly does, and has departed to the fence for 4.
Had a lot of practice against pace bowling over the years. It's in the air and he's gone. Fairbrother takes the catch, a very sharp catch. The backward square leg position. Desmond Haynes got pretty good contact, perhaps just a bit higher on the blade than he would have liked. The ball went just a little finer than he would have liked also. Straight into the safe hands of Fairbrother at backward square leg. Gus Logie is the new batsman for the West Indies, batting at number 6.
Conditions are perfect. It's 24 degrees, bright and sunny. That's in the air, but it's 4. You hit that right off the meat of the back fifth half, and going for the wider delivery. You really slashed that pass point in the air for about 40 metres, but went like a rocket to the point boundary. And Botham. Ogie goes for the big one. That'll be 6 all the way over square leg into the stand at the southern end there. Magnificently timed pull shot right off the meat of the bat. The big crowd building up here, around about 16,000 in already. Enjoyed that shot from the diminutive Gus Logie.
One of Gus Logie's favourite shots, that Ian Botham just straying in his line a little bit there. He's been very steady so far. The ball aimed just by leg stump there. Gus Logie eyed up that short boundary.
Just missing leg stump, I reckon, but it's not going to matter. Have you ever seen anything more stupid than that? Well, I suppose we have seen a few things this year, but that's going to run it very, very close.
It's a very close thing with the LBW. I think Gus Logie was so keen to get his pads out of the line so the umpire couldn't get a good look at it, but he started hurtling off down the pitch. Neil Fairbrother, feeling close on the leg side, just swooped on it, underarm with the left hand, flunk. Good night, Gus Logie. The West Indies really reeling here at 5 for 91.
New batsman coming out now, Roger Harper, and has struck now to Dermot Reeve. Dermot Reeve is rather a deceptive bowler. No great pace about him, but he changes his pace very well, in subtle fashion. There's a man out there, takes the catch beautifully. Graham Hickler's the catcher. And Dermot Reeve has struck Roger Harper. Becomes the 6th wicket to go down. It's not quite suicide, but it's not far off.
Slipping down the leg side. The idea was right, but the placement was far from right. Graham Hick judging it very well, taking the catch low down. Dermot Reeve is delighted. Roger Harper not so. 6 for 102.
Malcolm Marshall is the new batsman coming out to replace Roger Harper.
That's down the ground, and it's gone clear for 6. A big hit by Keith Arthurton. He took on the fielders. He took the gamble. Run out here. Marshall. Arthurton said run. We could hear it from here. And then turned his back on Malcolm Marshall. It was a run. And Marshall has been done.
Yes, that's cooked all right. Marshall on his way. Keith Arthurton rolling this out just in front of point. Was very quick there, and off come the bails. Not a happy Malcolm Marshall leaving the MCG. Leaves the West Indies at 7 for 114.
New batsman is David Williams.
In the air, this could be out. Yes, he's got him. A little bit of a front edge there. I think he tried to close the face and chip it over mid-on. Perhaps the ball just held up a little bit. So De Freitas has struck. That one going to mid-on. And Pringle doing the catching.
Derek Pringle deceptively quick at times, actually. He's a very big man, but moves well. And he's had to get down quite low just to clutch that ball before it hits the ground, safely catching it. Good pair of hands again, Derek Pringle. And England have taken every chance they've been offered today. They've caught everything that's been in the air. Only the one problem earlier on. But now West Indies 8 for 131.
His favourite down here in Melbourne is Curtly Ambrose. He's at the non-striker's end at the moment. 47 runs at a strike rate of 48.5 runs per 100 balls. Who's got that one away, square of the wicket, one bounce into the fence down there at square leg. In fact, it's gone over the top. So it's just cleared the rope down there. That's his 50 as well. 46 overs have been bowled, 4 to go. In the air and out. Well, it was bound to happen at some stage. Fairbrother doesn't drop him. He's at mid-wicket there. And rather like Alan Border, very safe hands, very quick. No problems at all taking this catch.
For once, Keith Arthurton not quite giving it everything. Trying to work it with his wrists over the infield there, not timing the ball. Neil Fairbrother's caught far harder catches than that. Wasn't going to make a fuss over that one. West Indies now 9 for 145.
47 overs have been bowled. It's up to these two now to try and use up the last 3 overs. 9 for 145. 2 balls to go in this over. It's a good shot and just wide of Tufnell. You can rest assured on one thing. That bat of his will be swinging from high. There she goes, in the air, going down to third man. This will be out. Yes, he's got him. De Freitas down there making the catch. That one off the edge, flying away down towards third man. And so Ambrose out. Caught in the deep.
Well, the tactic working there for Graham Gooch and Chris Lewis. Curtly Ambrose aiming a, can only describe as a bit of a heave to the offside, miscuing a top edge comfortably in Philip de Freitas' hands at third man.
So disappointing 157 for the West Indies, including a half-century from Keith Arthurton. England will be very happy with the way they bowled and fielded. 3 for 30 from Chris Lewis, 3 for 34 from Phil de Freitas. Ian Botham is retained as England's opener, along with Graham Gooch, as we pick up the action at the start.
Graham Gooch will be on strike. Curtly Ambrose is the bowler from the outer end, southern or outer end, and he has 2 slips and a gully. And just wide of the second of those 2 slips. Was very catchable for a third slip.
Pretty strong offside field for Ian Botham. The line of attack being concentrated over off stump and around off stump for him. Just the 3 fielders on the leg side, 6 on the offside.
That's a very good delivery. Must have gone extremely close to dropping on off stump. But the ball, I think the original idea with Ian Botham was to cut it, but it really seemed back at him. Once again, no luck for Ambrose, but a magnificent delivery.
Well, good luck, more good luck than good judgment here for Graham Gooch. That's almost the unplayable delivery, almost the perfect delivery. Pitching just outside off stump, going across the top of off stump.
That's beautifully timed. Mitchell Harper's going to get it. You can't stop the 4, all run.
He's very much a confidence bowler. Malcolm, when it's going right, the rhythm's there, he's very, very dangerous, but just tends to get a little bit disconsolate if it's not going right for him.
Oh, that's hit. A dozen off that over from Malcolm Marshall. England none for 27 after 8.
And the West Indies have kept the same team that won the match against Pakistan, which means they've only got 3 of their main fast bowlers. 2 spinners, Hooper and Harper. Cracked away for 4. As soon as the bowlers have been short, batsmen have had the room, and that's a very confident stroke for a boundary. No wicket for 33. And that's almost a brilliant catch by Williams. See what the umpire will give here. There was a big deflection. Came off the bat, and there's applause from the crowd here for Williams for the effort.
It's a spectacular try. It may even, in the end, have arrived a little bit too slowly for him. Now Benjamin is sharp in pace, bowling from fairly wide on the crease, slanting in, and then going away off the seam for a catch. Wicketkeeper David Williams takes it, and the first one down. Precisely what Richie Richardson needed from his team.
At just about the right time. Didn't look as if the England batsmen were in any difficulty. Good catch by David Williams, but a very good delivery from Benjamin, defeating Botham, finding the edge, and Botham goes for 8. England at 1 for 50 in the 14th over. So Robin Smith, the batsman who is in form,
done a really marvellous job for England, Graham Gooch. It all started going way back to the West Indies, where they won the Test match in Jamaica.
And what a shot. He used his feet beautifully, watched it over it off, all the way to the boundary. It's fourth boundary to Graham Gooch. It's 1 for 71. Richardson there, well aware he needs a wicket or 2 now. Get back in this match. There it is. It's the one they needed. Robin Smith going the pull shot. Onto him too quickly. Gus Logie come in from square leg. And all of a sudden, tables turn. That's what they needed.
A little pat on the back there for Gus Logie. Banksmate was the word, I think. Here's the shot. Short ball. And it was onto him a little quicker, I think, than he expected. Straightforward catch to Logie. That's a big wicket for the West Indies. They needed it desperately, and the man who produced it for them, Winston Benjamin. So Smith out. He's out for 8 of 28 balls, caught by Logie. Benjamin doing the damage. And England 2 down now for 71.
Graham Hick taking guard. Winston Benjamin doing the damage for the West Indies. Has bowled very well this evening. Genuine pace, good line. It's close. Inside edge was a big shout. Maybe going down leg side, maybe an edge, but certainly beaten for pace, Graham Hick.
That's umpire Stephen Woodward there from New Zealand. He's at the members' end. See if he can pick up an edge here, because if it wasn't an edge, it was going to be close, although it bounced a little bit and may have been angling just down the leg side. Good decision.
In the air, but that's quite safe. Most of the field up in the circle. Graham Hick deciding that he'd rather get this game over sooner than later. Graham Hick on 7. Graham Gooch 49. And Gooch leading from the front here at the MCG. Ambrose bowled 6 very good overs at the start of the innings. In the air, but there's plenty of gaps out there. It's a better line, but Graham Hick can make room for himself there as well. Austin Benjamin, the chaser. No pressure here for England at the moment. It's the 50 for Graham Gooch. He's done it on many occasions. Test matches, limited over matches. A fine batsman. He's been a fine batsman for a long time for England, and has got better and better with the captaincy. 38 years of age, still a very fine player. This is just about what the West Indies didn't need. Very poor over so far by Roger Harper. They need wickets. They need some mean bowling. And that's not really helping Richie.
Well, despite recalling Curtly Ambrose, Graham Gooch still cantering.
And the ball flies across the outfield here. Malcolm Marshall just hasn't been able to get it right this evening. Too full, too short, too wide.
Well, there's no doubt which side they're supporting. I'm not sure I'd like to take the fellow at the top there for a beer tonight. Not without a real mask on. But they're loving it. Oh, and guess what? They've come from Yorkshire.
It's in the air, and a couple of bounces into the backward square leg fence, and that will bring the England supporters to their feet. Even some of the good-looking ones.
Oh, he's got him. Yes, he stumped him. That one turned, went down the leg side, and I tell you what, he did very well to get the ball back there. It did turn quite sharply. Gooch missed it, and for a second it looked as if he fumbled it.
I think it got caught up in his clothing. As it bounced off his arm and onto his chest and then down into his glove. Oh, Graham Gooch has gone. Very good innings from the England captain. Beaten by the spin there. A fumble and another fumble, and then off go the bails. Gooch out for 65. Stump Williams bowled Hooper. It's 3 for 126.
Neil Fairbrother, just 17 matches, hasn't been around for too long. Strike rate of 76.8. I'm telling you that's pretty good.
And that's a great shot over extra cover for 6. Very unusual to see a hit over extra cover, which carries all the way. That brings up the 50 for Graham Hick. Didn't quite hold it. And he's claiming the catch. Graham Hick is not certain about it at all. Harper is certainly clear about it in his mind. Now, the question here for the umpires is, did he hold it long enough? It goes off. I don't think he really waited for the umpires. He just checked with Roger Harper. There was no decision from the umpires because none was necessary. Graham Hick decides, yes, once the bowler tells me he's taken it. The catch was taken cleanly. Now Harper throws it up, and perhaps there we see that he has held it long enough.
No doubt at all, actually, that Roger Harper had got to that ball. England 4 for 156.
New batsman is Alex Stewart. The West Indies not going down here without a little bit of a fight towards the end. Sting in the tail. It's too late. Two needed, and there they come off the edge. England have won with an edged 4 by Neil Fairbrother. They wave to their supporters. England with their second victory in 2 matches in the World Cup. Their odds have shortened appreciably since the start of it, and they'll shorten even further after this conclusive victory over the West Indies.
So England's great start to the World Cup continues. Their second victory, this time over the West Indies by 6 wickets. Superb batting from Graham Gooch, ably supported by Graham Hick, both making half centuries, and England really winning quite comfortably with 10 overs to spare. We hope you've enjoyed our highlights of the best 4 matches of the opening week of the 1992 Cricket World Cup. It was a week when New Zealand beat fellow hosts Australia. South Africa returned to cricket's centre stage with a victory, and England became new favourites after defeating former winners India and the West Indies.